Hey, what's going on, guys, girls, and gamers? I'm super pumped about today's episode. We are jumping into Crusader Kings 3. Definitely not the normal type of game that I would play on my channel, but I hope you guys are going to enjoy this. We're going to be running through Crusader Kings 2 and hopefully running through a whole kingdom. Today's episode is going to be slightly different, just in all spheres and all aspects of how I do things on this channel. So for once, Crusader Kings 3 is a big strategy styled game, which I do enjoy. I mean, that's basically where things started for me, playing Age of Empires back in the day, Red Alert, but this takes things on a big scale, grand scheme strategy, whole different level. So I'm really keen to jump into this. Crusader Kings 3 is a new game that has been released in 2020, released 1st of September. So yeah, super keen to play the new title. Paradox has put in a lot of work into this, making it look very different from CK2. The whole UI, the whole experience kind of feels very different, a lot more user friendly. I never played CK2, but I have watched a lot of gameplay in the past from other content creators. So I'm just really keen to jump into this game. It has caught my eye and my attention, and it looks as though it's inviting to all those new types of players. So if you are new to the channel, make sure that you hit that subscribe to see all CK content that's going to be dropped. And if you are new to the channel and this looks like something new and you're interested in, and you guys are keen to jump in as well, maybe give this and the next couple of episodes a look-see before you guys jump in and actually grab the game yourselves. I am going to be running through the tutorial. This is completely new to me. I have never played any Crusader King game before in the past, so just a forewarning. We are going to jump into a new game. We are going to play the tutorial. This is going to help us with just basically getting into the CK, the Crusader Kings method of playing the game. And here we'll just basically run through the tutorial and see what the game is all about, see the game mechanics, and see what it has to offer for us and what all the new mechanics are. If you have played Crusader Kings in the past, this might be really interesting for you to have a look through and see all the differences, all the changes. So let's jump into it without further ado. Yeah, so you are a medieval ruler. Land is yours for the taking. Very pumped. Through clever marriages and diplomacy, as well as war, because there is a lot of war, all by the way of the sword. There it is there. We will take this land. We will. And so there is no one way to win in Crusader Kings, only different ways to enjoy the story that unfolds, and I'm really keen to see how the story does unfold, and I hope you guys are here for the ride. So we can use WASD to just basically move around, and this is telling us the basics of the maps and the controlling. We can zoom in and out, and what's really nice about this, I love the zoom mechanics here. You can see the map as it is. This is the full map. On launch, I have watched some content. A lot of guys actually are disputing the fact that this piece here is torn off, which may lead to further DLC content. At this point, I'm pretty happy with what is here. There is a mass here. I mean, just if we push home, we can go all the way into our detailed view map. Yeah, the details view map, and have a look at the terrain, and you can see all these small holdings and buildings and things that are here. So really super detailed. I love the fact that you can zoom in. In the past there were filters as such. There are down here, which we'll get into a little bit later. So as you zoom out, you can start to see these the lands and the all the different ownership land, basically taking shape a little bit more. As we move out, it goes into this beautifully illustrated, sketched map style, just so that we can get this full overview, laying on a table type of look. So yes, we are starting out in, let's see where we are, Desmond, oh no, sorry, Tamond. So that is the area that we are going to be starting off and working through. We can see Dublin up here, so this is like the Ireland. Yeah, so anyway, let's get back into the tutorial here. One thing that's really awesome, which we'll get into a lot here, is yes, as I said before, Crusader King spans over hundreds of years and many of generations. Right now, time is standing still because the game is paused, so we do have the pausing and running through at different speeds functionality. For this part of the tutorial, we'll keep the game paused while we walk you through some game concepts. So tooltips in tooltips. So this is something that's really cool that has been highlighted in a lot of content that I have seen so far. Is their wiki within the game is amazing. How basically you can learn the game through hovering over, seeing these tooltips, and then inside there's another highlighted word which you can then carry on, and you can find yourself in boxes and boxes and boxes. So yeah, we learn a little bit more. Since I've never played a CK game before, these might be new terms to you. There are certainly new terms to me. So here we have a barony. So a barony is basically a small part of the area. So as I pass over here, you can see that we've got the city of Emly. We've got the barony. So this is a barony, this highlighted area over here, and we can see quite clearly there is a border line over there. As you work your way up, moving from one piece of barony land, you start capturing through, like they said, diplomatic or clever marriages, all by the sword. You will eventually now take on a county, which I assume is multiple baronies, which then will lead to multiple which will then get you to a duchy, which will be multiple counties. Cool. Again, if I am incorrect, please, in the comment section down below, you guys can comment and just provide any feedback. Maybe I am getting some of the terms wrong and incorrect, and I do apologize. This is the first time, like I said, that I am playing a Crusader Kings game, so yeah. Let's okay, now let's talk about the game. Perfect, exactly what we're all here to see, and let's get into it. Everything takes place on the map before you. Perfect. The world consists of large and small pieces of land, which we're very keen to get hold of, each belonging to someone based on their titles. So again, if this is a word that you're not accustomed to within the game, you can hover over it, and there is like a little loading bar, and the frame appears which locks it into place. Otherwise, if you move off of it before that happens, the tooltip disappears. So inside here, we'll be able to understand exactly what a title is. A title is essentially a certificate of land ownership. The smallest unit of land on the map is a barony, like we said previously. Baronies are organized into larger areas called counties. County de jure belongs to a duchy, so obviously small groupings of counties in a singular area will form a de jure duchy, county, which then can be formulated into a duchy. Duchies will then be formulated into kingdoms, and kingdoms then turn into empires. Perfect. Sounds awesome. Sounds like we're on our way to glory. Your titles are represented by icons with elaborate coats of arms. So these are the titles here. As we can see, we have a title. Let's move this out of the way a little bit more. As we can see, the titles that are belonging to our character, Petty King Murcard MacDuncad. of Munster. These are the two titles that he owns at the moment. So we have the Petty Kingdom of Munster, and we have the Earldom of Thomden. So that is Thomden right over there, and we also have the title to the Petty Kingdom of Munster. So this, as you scroll out, you'll see things breaking up and detailing themselves and filtering differently, which is really awesome. I love that. The icon representing your realm is set by your primary title. Okay, so a realm is all the land that a ruler controls, either directly or through vassals, in contrast to a domain, which is only the holdings personal owner owned by the ruler. Okay, cool. That's a bit to take in there. So the icon representing your realm is set by your primary title. So I'm guessing, yeah, this here basically tells us that this is the primary title, and we have a title here and the primary title there. Cool. So we hold that piece of paper that says that we own that land. If you click your character portrait highlighted in the character view, the border of your realm capital, so there, as you can see, the white ring highlighting where we own the titles, highlighted in the character view, the border of your realm capital Luminec will light up. Outside of that will be borders of your entire realm. Munster is your primary title, which is why your realm is named after it. You also hold the Earldom to Thomden as a separate title. If you zoom out, it will read Munster, as seen there, on part of the map because you are the top ruler of the area. Okay, cool. So we do hold this title, meaning that someone else holds this title for these Ormond at the moment, but we also hold the title for that whole the what was it now, the Petty Kingdom. Perfect. Ruling over others. Okay, as a ruler you can only hold so much land on your own, and you'll often have other rulers helping with the administration of the realm by holding land titles within your borders, making them your vassals. Okay, perfect. So that makes sense. We can't control all of the happenings on in here as one single person. We need others to assist us, and they're going to be vassals. Just to get a better understanding of that, a vassal is a ruler who has sworn fealty to another ruler, their liege. A vassal provides their liege with levies and taxes, their obligations, in exchange for protection. Okay, well, sounds like some thuggery going on there, but anyway, that's the government back there. If a vassal's opinion of their liege is low, they may join factions or schemes to replace their liege with someone else. Okay, so that's pretty self-explanatory. How do we, let's open up this. So this is our heir. I thought we could see our liege somewhere. Right, parents, grandparents, siblings. Okay, so we can't really see at this point. I feel as though we have no further higher up liege then as such. Okay. Right, I understand. Okay, cool. The character. You are playing as one of many characters in the world, represented by character avatars, as seen by this square here. Your character is the ruler of a realm. You'll need to make sure that your dynasty survives and thrives through the ages. Your titles give you power and control over territory and other characters who might hold titles and land of their own. Okay, makes sense. So we might have others that are underneath our rule that will have other titles and other characters, etc., etc. Characters have skills indicating their proficiency within a certain field. Some are great talkers, while others prefer to make their intent clear on the battlefield. Okay, perfect. So, I mean, I see martial, excellent status. Looks like it's one of the higher of our skills that we have here. So I think our character is quite um, profound on the battlefield, or quite excellent, as so stated. Others are average. We have a very poor intrigue, and our learning is terrible. Oh, that's not going to be great. Our diplomacy is poor. So the main skills are diplomacy, martial, stewardship, intrigue, learning. Remember, since these are highlighted text, you can mouse over each for a breakdown of what they mean, as seen here. So you can see that we have a base of 8, wrathful, which is a trait. We get +3, skill tacticianer, etc, etc. Right, characters also have traits, which we've just talked about now, which can affect the skills below, as seen in that wrathful panel, as well as how they react to things. These are illustrated by icons on your character view. Some traits tell you about the character's personality, like fickle. So fickle is a personality trait. It increases our diplomacy, decreases our stewardship, hostile scheme resistance +20%. Okay, and so on and so forth. Some traits tell you about your character's personality, like other traits are specific to how a character has lived their life, such as your education traits or your commander traits. Okay, so education traits, Petty King Murkhard, your character followed a martial education. Upon reaching adulthood, he received the trait Skilled Tacticianer. So, like before mentioned in these panels, there's many ways and many mechanics within the game. One such mechanic is that I know of is getting married, having kids, and obviously giving them an education. And we were obviously educated in martial, and that's why our martial skill is quite high. Commander traits are special traits that confer useful perks to characters when acting as army commander. Commander traits are typically acquired by children raised with a martial education focus, but can also be gained through a martial lifestyle and other means. Okay, cool. So commander is primarily focused on living by the sword. If you've gone down the martial route, then there are specific traits primarily focused on the fighting aspects. So we are temperate, which increases our stewardship, gives us a small boost to health. Opinion of temperate characters, opinion of gluttonous characters, etc, etc. We have wrathful, we have impatient. From this you can see that our character typically lives a modest life but expects others to do so also, and is quick to anger when they don't. Okay, cool. So we have standards. When a character chooses to behave against their personal traits, it causes stress. Okay, so stress is a mechanic within the game, which we will see it belongs over here, and it has appeared in previous games, but I don't think it's ever been illustrated like this, so to speak. So, but I'm sure this tutorial will cover that in some detail. Traits can also impact how other characters react to you. Okay, some people are impressed by your brave trait. Okay, so some people will like bravery and others won't like bravery, while a lustful character is more likely to feature salacious gossip. Okay, I mean that completely makes sense. This is almost, well, this is supposed to be obviously simulating real, life interaction. Traits influence other characters morally, morality and greed, which can affect both their friendly and hostile actions. Okay, all characters, yes, all have an opinion of one another, which drives their behavior. Okay, so we can see that Brian has an opinion of me, which is plus 74, which is really good. Oh, he's our father. Our father is our heir? Okay, obviously, well, we're 39 years of age, and we don't have a wife, which means we haven't had any children, which means our father, who is... Oh, we do have a child. This is our child, and because our character is the father, it gets 50. Ah, okay. Wait, this says siblings. Oh, children. Okay. So we can swap on over. Okay. Ah, okay. Okay. A low opinion can cause people to rise against you or be unwilling to help you. High opinion can, on the other hand, make characters more inclined to join you, join your murder scheme, or fall for your seduction. Okay, perfect. So keep people with a high opinion of you, and basically we're greasing the wheels, and things should go all peachy. How you choose to interact with other characters will often affect their opinions of you, and I think that's going to be a very key aspect of this game, is obviously interacting, creating bonds of friendship, creating alliances, through marriage, through friendship, through the bonds of war, whatever it might be. We'll definitely strive to have great opinions of those around us, even our of our enemies. Okay, to help you further your goals, you will need gold, of course. We do live in the world, so everything revolves around money, and we have other resources up here. Among other things, gold will pay for buildings, armies, and barabs. Gold is collected passively from both your holdings and your vassals as tax. So obviously, as you start out the game, you might be starting out as the ruler of England per se, and you might have many vassals underneath you that you can collect from. I think the games that I'm going to be wanting to play is when you start off as a leader of a single barony and working your way up from there. Just that makes you feel a lot more accomplished. So larger vassals and more important holdings tend to give you more tax. One thing that I am going to say just from the outset is, one thing that I'm very pumped about is being able to go into here and actually build things. So we're definitely, in the first game that we take on, we're definitely going to be wanting to go for a lot of money to start improving our holdings to just allow for more tax. However, money is not all. Certain things can be achieved by spending the right amount of prestige, or, for religious matters, piety. So piety represents the virtue of a character, acting piously according to the doctrines of their faith will increase the character's piety. Piety can be spent on various religious matters depending on the government form. So there's a whole government section where you can upgrade and work your way through laws, but we'll get to that at a later stage. Each time a character gains piety, they'll also progress towards the level of devotion. So a level of devotion, a character's level of devotion is measured how virtuous and devout they are, as well as their standing with other members of their faith. Every time a character gains piety, they also progress towards the next level of devotion, and these are the levels of devotion. You've got dutiful, you've got faithful, you've got devoted servant, paragon of virtue, and religious archon. And all of these obviously have their buffs and debuffs, etc., etc. You can see the current state of your gold, prestige, and piety in the bar at the top. So prestige is also going to help us gain levels of fame, and these are the levels of fame. A character's level of fame measured measures their general reputation and how well perceived they are by everyone. Each time a character gains prestige, they also progress towards the next level of fame. The levels are established, distinguished, illustrious, exalted among men, and the living legend, which obviously each of these allow for knights. Okay, well, we will get there. I don't want to jump the gun too far. And then obviously, okay, now we're going into each of these things, talking about them. Your prestige tells us how respected you are. It can be earned over time by holding lots of titles, for example, or actively, such as marrying into prestigious dynasties or fighting as an ally in wars. Whenever you earn prestige, you build towards your next level of fame. Higher levels of fame make other characters think better of you. So again, we're bringing into opinion there, which is going to be super important because it's just going to help us interact with people better, and bring powerful ways to wage war. Some actions cost prestige, like declaring a war. Okay, so not very prestigious to declare war, but will gain you prestige by winning wars. Okay, these allow you to leverage your celebrity for your own benefit, and characters won't think less of you for using them. Okay, spending prestige does not affect your level of fame, progress, just your current prestige. Okay, so once you've gained that level of prestige, it's not gonna go away. You're only gonna use what you currently have, which is here, progress. So the current level that we're on at the moment is established, and we get no effects. Okay, perfect. And you can see here that prestige we get 1.73 per month, and that is coming from there we go, and that's coming from these different things: house head, dynasty head, held counties, held duchies. So there is basically where we're getting that all from. Let's move on to the next point. Piety. With a lot of piety, you will have an easier time interacting with your head of faith. As you are a Catholic, this is the Pope. Piety can be gained passively from the learning skill and from virtuous traits, or actively from choosing to do religious things such as going on pilgrimages. So I am aware that there are certain tasks, and there are going to be a lot of like pop-up events that go on throughout this game, and that's exactly where the whole story unfolding part comes into play, which I'm super pumped about to see all of those things. So you have a level of devotion which builds over time. Whenever you gain piety, you can have positive effects for your character. Similar to prestige, some action require you to spend piety, like declaring a holy war, or if you want to create a new faith. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I'm very keen on the whole prestige side of things. I'm very keen on the whole tech side of things. I'm not really so keen on the whole faith side of things, although I do realize it is a mechanic, it is a resource that can be spent, and obviously it is a part of the mechanics within Crusader Kings 3, so it is just something that I am going to learn to live with and use as a resource. I'm not too fond of delving into the whole religious side of things. I don't really see what it's going to do for us, but I do see that potentially by doing all of these things and becoming more piet, if that's a word, we will be able to gain further different traits which will allow for different buffs. Okay, cool. Spending piety like this is normal, and characters won't think worse of you for doing it. Perfect. Understand. Lifestyles. As well as traits, your character can also pick a lifestyle. Okay, this is quite cool. So we can be like active, choose to go to gym, or what's up. Okay, there are 5 lifestyles one for each skill. Okay, makes sense. Lifestyles represent what you put the most effort into day to day, and each one has several focuses inside related to do this. Okay, every focus gives you your unique bonus and makes events associated with the focus more likely to happen. Click on the lifestyle. Okay, well, let's click into it and let's see what we can do. So we have diplomacy, martial, stewardship, intrigue, and learning. Okay. Click on any lifestyle to see its focuses. As time goes by, your character will earn lifestyle experience for maintaining a particular lifestyle. Okay, cool. So we can maintain a diplomatic lifestyle, martial, etc., etc. And because you saw that we had a 17 martial skill there, because of your martial education. Okay, so once you've had a child and you can choose the education line, they will then obviously achieve a better lifestyle to live in that, because this will give us 30% more experience in this lifestyle. So choosing this, we'll just gain a lot faster than now choosing intrigue, for instance, or learning, which is the poorest. But there is no debuff because it is of a poor nature. That might be, yeah, I like that. I'm not very a min-max kind of person, so I'm not really too phased. Let's read further. Let's see further what exactly this is all about. As time goes by, your character earns lifestyle experience for maintaining a particular lifestyle. When you acquire enough lives, you'll select one of that lifestyle's perks. So these are different trees within here. It looks as though we've accomplished 8 out of 27 already in there. Perks represent you practicing and developing yourself over time. Okay. So I'm guessing if we choose martial, that's the kind of lifestyle we're wanting to wage war, to gather experience, to then develop and grow further in this tree, which we'll have a look at now. But let's just finish reading this. So perks representing you practicing and developing yourself over time and offer unique bonuses like special traits, or unlock lifestyle specific mechanics and content, such as the ability to start abduction schemes. Okay. I'm guessing that's an intrigue thing, as we can see from the letter and the dagger. It's all about sneaking, behind the back kind of stuff. As an example, the strategy, authority, as well as the chivalry focus all give you martial experience, which can be used to buy any of the martial lifestyle perks. Okay, the perk tree in turn lead to different lifestyle traits. Okay, let's click into this. Okay, cool. So we have the lifestyle focus, and we've got 3 different tiers. Well, not really tiers, but just paths as such, or the focuses. They're focuses. So we have strategy focus, authority focus, and chivalry focus. But within the martial tree, so to speak, we have these 3 different trees, and it looks as though we've accomplished this whole gallant tree at this point. Okay, weird that he hasn't chosen a lifestyle focus there, but anyway, click on any lifestyle to see its focuses. As time goes by, can we, oh yeah, we can actually go in between here. As time goes by, your character will earn lifestyle experience for maintaining a particular lifestyle. When you acquire enough lifestyle experience, you can select one of that lifestyle's perk from any of the trees. So, the perks over here, as you can see, these have been acquired. Perks represent you practicing and developing yourself over time and offer unique bonuses like special traits, or unlock lifestyle specific mechanics and content such as... Okay, cool. I've actually read all of this. Okay, cool. Well, we need to choose a focus. So, luck with the duel. Okay, to be honest, we are so close to this last thing here, so I think that probably better if we do. But just a something that I want to mention for what I plan to do as a strategy of mine. I do see the value of this martial lifestyle and a focus within there, just specific for this character. But I do see the well, to gain the experience, I would have to fight more. I may be wrong, I might be incorrect in thinking that. But if we choose something that's more day to day, for instance, stewardship, you can do at any given time, or diplomacy, you could be doing within learning, you could be doing all the time. The martial, you might not be fighting your whole life, you might not even fight. So is that a waste? But anyway, we'll look at it. So, luck in duels. A fool can win in a battle. It takes more to win a war. So this gives us 3 to martial. This gives us 1 to martial, but gains dread. Control. So what does control do? Control measures the grip that the government has on the population of a county. It is crucial, especially for collecting taxes and holdings. When a county changes hands through war, control goes down drastically, which is a good reason to vassalize the current holder instead of... okay, so that basically just gives us extra control. Okay, so we will just gain experience per month regardless. I see. Okay, victory comes not through blood or gold, but honor. Gives us 3 to prowess. What is prowess though? Prowess is a secondary skill that reflects the character's aptitude and personal combat. A high prowess skill means they are more likely to survive and perform well both as knights in battle and in duels. Okay, cool. So this will already kind of take over that. But having a higher martial, just in general, the martial skill indicates how good a character is at waging war and leading armies into battle. A high martial skill is important for army commanders, since it improves their advantage in battle. I have heard that martial does help with creating bigger armies. I think at this point, let's go for this, just because it's gonna help out in general. It gives us a better attraction, and we are wanting to get married. Advantage +5, battle advantage. Let's pick that. Yeah, let's do it. Can only be changed every 5 years. Okay, because I mean you can't change your focus every day, pretty much. Okay. Now, having selected a focus, we can move on to other people. If you're new to the game, interacting with other characters is key, and you have many options how to do so. You can right-click on a character's portrait, including your own, and get a list of potential interactions, such as arranging a marriage or initiating a scheme. This is also where you will start wars. Let's try something else first. Okay, let's right-click. Oh, right, okay, so it wants us to right-click here. Okay, so let's start with the basics. Everybody likes gold. Money does make the world go round. Okay, try sending a bribe to your heir. Why exactly am I bribing my heir, though? What are we doing? Most interactions will bring up a second window with details. When selected, you can confirm or cancel an action in this window. Try to use and confirm the send gift interaction with... Okay, cool. So, I don't know what... Okay, well, we will send a gift. Pay 50 gold to Brian. Gains 10. Opinion of you will last for 1.2 years, I'm guessing. Okay. And he will accept. Send the gift. Okay, perfect. And we can see there that his opinion of us has gone up. So, pretty cool.